what are some of the key things that we can do to eliminate pronatalism in the world? What can we do to accelerate this conversation?
There is already a change happening because during the last year, 4 different students did a research exactly on that, specifically about why women decide not to procreate for environmental reasons. So until that moment, I was thinking that why there is no research on that, it's very sad, no one speaks about that. But if in 1 year we saw already 4, and then I heard about one more, 5, I think that we are already more vocal on that, and there are more people speaking about that. And also we had the birth strike movement. It didn't last long, but it did a lot of noise. There were many interviews out there, and The Guardian is doing an excellent job. There are many interviews of women all over the world who decide to stay without kids.
I have to say that an example is what's happening right now today. I think that to try to find women's panels, to try to find ways to integrate the ideas of pronatalism and help people become more conscious of how child-centric our mindset really is. And we've all studied it quite a bit, and I still catch myself in a child-centric, mode of thinking, or it's still very common. So it's a little bit like we have to catch ourselves so that we are more conscious how our thinking really does unconsciously still move in that direction. So to integrate people knowing pronatalism more deeply within themselves at the same time that we are trying, is what the overpopulation movement tries to do, to see what the impacts of having too many people are, but to try to integrate the messaging is that bigger problem really starts with how we view the world and our actions that come from that. So it's a deeper look at why we think the way we do about children and reproduction, and trying to continue to deepen that conversation. So it's an integrative messaging approach.
Thank you so much for that. And I know we are trying to make this connection with how to not just come from the personal when it comes to childbearing, given the urgency of overpopulation, but I really do believe it has to start with the personal, because childbearing has been and continues to be a deeply personal decision. And like you are all saying, we really need to start questioning, what is it that we want to do with our lives that is purely authentic, that is purely defined by us, that is not coming from external pressures, that may include having children, that may include adopting kids, that may include not having children. All of those choices, I believe, should be equally valid and authentic, as long as they're coming from the deepest part of ourselves.